this one is gonna be, it's really gonna be like a vulnerable, honest, and just like really open one. I want to go into some cool details here, just about like how I got to where I am. Like why I'm, a real big kind of proponent on online training now, and why I had to walk away, from my last job that I did in-person training at. Let me start by saying I love in-person training. Like I love being able to actually work with people, be physically there, right? Like I totally love that. There's no distaste for that in itself. But the last time when I did work in a commercial gym, it was like a big box gym. I just like it almost like crushed my soul, my passion for it all right? So like I was trying to do, more in-person training on my own, but I wasn't able to like get it, afloat. I wasn't able to kind of make it work on my own yet. I didn't have it figured out. And last winter, my girlfriend got like really, really sick, you guys, really sick. And she couldn't work at all. She was in the hospital and it was really scary. It was really bad. So in order to just make ends meet, I had to just basically like say, you know what, I can't waste any time building this business. I need to go just work for someone right now. So I ended up going to this gym located in Franklin, Wisconsin. I won't say what the name of the gym is, but I'll just say it was in Franklin, Wisconsin. The gyms I'm at now, I love them, right? But that gym that I worked at was the last gym. It was like the last straw that I'll ever do an in-person gym in a commercial setting like that ever again, because like some of them out there are great, some of them out there are fantastic, but just like the one that I worked for, like completely just didn't even like wasn't even there, wasn't even in tune with why we're in the gym. We're in the gym to get better, to feel healthy, to be positive, to improve, right? And the last in-person gym that I was at, like no one cared about that. Like there was not a single like group meeting about like how to like train people more effectively, how to help people more, what we could do to learn, like there was nothing like that. They only cared about, I remember they had a whiteboard with everybody's name on it, and it was just like how much money you all made, like through the end of the month. And just like I hated that, like I did that didn't sit well with me. And it was just like everybody was competing with each other just to like, who's gonna make the most sales this month, who's gonna like, who's gonna sign the most contracts with everybody. And it was just like that's everybody, that's all they cared about. And like all the trainers, there was no like company culture. They were all the team of trainers, they were all out to get each other. They're all out to be like the number one, seller and the number one salesperson for the month. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit, like, because nobody was like actually really talking about like how their clients are, what they're doing to like train their clients, how, just like no one actually gave a damn, like about like actually getting people healthy again, and like changing some lives here. And that like offended me, because like I got into the fitness space because like I was there, I was super fucking unhealthy, and like I was in that deep dark pit of despair and just like thought it was impossible. I thought I'd be out of shape for my entire life. Like it was hard, it was just like a struggle. I remember always like, being in the basement on this like stationary bike, just like sweating and just like hating myself, and just like, really in the rough dark edges of the fitness journey. I was like swimming around in that as a young kid a lot. And like when I was able to kind of claw my way out and like do something with like a whole transformation, and like I got a mentor to teach me how to lift, and I fell in love with like the fitness journey, I felt like a huge responsibility to give that to people, to show them the way of like how it can be fun and how they can make their fitness journey good for them, and how it can become, something that they can just implement in their life to improve everything all around, and it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be what someone else is doing. They can cultivate their own way of fitness that they like, and I can just like showcase different techniques and different strategies that, and if they like them, they can use them and take it as far as they want. But man, that last gym, you guys, like it was just like no one cared about no one cared about helping people, and it just like crushed me, you know. And I remember I was the least, I was like the last person on like sales, you know. I was like I made the least amount of money every month, and I, you know, I didn't close people, you know, on like getting their contracts and stuff, and I wasn't, you know, I couldn't, you know, I couldn't like bring people in to like just like bring them into this environment where people didn't give a shit. It was like again, it crushed my soul. It was just like against what I everything that I stood for in a way, and what I personally am invested in with fitness. So like, you know, even despite, you know, my girlfriend was in the hospital and like we were struggling to make ends meet, and it was just like everything was so tough, and it, you know, it was scary times, you know, but like I just still I couldn't be there any longer. I had to just like say, all right, I'm out, you know, like I had to dip, and I just said to the manager like, yeah, this isn't working. Like there's no supportive environment here. I don't sense that you guys you don't actually care about these people that walk in the door. I don't sense that you guys really, you know, there's no like communication between the floor of trainers and the management. It's just like, what do we do? What are you guys doing? You know, it just felt like a mess, you know. And I'm just here to fucking help people, make shit fun, and give them the knowledge. And you know, honestly, like turning my back on that and like starting my own shit and actually being able to just carry out what I wanted to do with the vision fucking was the best decision of my entire life. Because now let's go into like why it's actually pretty fucking awesome and great that like online training versus in-person training. Now that I got my little spiel out of the way of like, you know, how I had to step away from the gym, and like, you know, I'm holding back too. I'm being real nice, but like, you know, I couldn't be in that environment. But let's talk about like, you know, the future of fitness, right? The future. I want to be a fucking leading expert in the future of the way we're going to do things. Not, you know, I want to be acquainted and good at in-person training throughout my entire career, but I still want to be on like the dominating factor of like how things are going to happen moving forward. So like when you do in-person training, right? It's a shitload of money. It's expensive. Like that shit is expensive. Like I remember like what they were charging at in-person training. I'm like, Jesus, like, you know, that is a lot of freaking money. And the only people that could ever afford it were just like everybody was usually like retired, or they were just like, you know, really well off already. And those were the only people that could actually afford the personal training. Like everybody else, like I remember giving out like a lot of free demos to people that couldn't afford it. And then that would be it. They couldn't sign up, but I would try to teach them as much as I possibly could while I had them for the time that I had them, because like everybody got like a free couple of sessions. So I just gave people so much that they wouldn't even need the training as much as possible for the time that they're on. Then they wouldn't sign up because I would give them like a little program to take on the whole time. But like, you know, it was expensive. I don't blame them. You know, the in-person training was a lot, you know, for what they charge, like just per 45 minutes or per 1 hour, per one session even. I was like, Jesus, you know, like that's a lot. And you only see it 45 minutes and that's it. Then it's poof, then it's gone, you know, and then like, it was just crazy amount of money for like in-person training. And so like real advantage of like online training is it's a lot more affordable, and it's not gonna be once or twice a week for like an hour, you know, every time, you know, like online, you know, it's the 22nd century now, you guys. It's the future, right? Like it's 24/7. Like when you have an online coach, an online trainer, they're there like all the time, you know, doing their own thing. It's just, you know, communication is at a point these days where like you can reach anyone on the world, you know, just with a couple of thumb taps. So that's like if you're like serious about like, you know, being supported in your goals, being supported in like what you're trying to do, like wouldn't you want the trainer that's like online and you can reach out to them anytime, versus like you see your guy once a week or twice a week and then you try to get as much as out of them, and then you forgot your questions by the time that happens, and it's only 45 minutes and then they got to go and help someone else. Like versus like online, it's kind of like you're like this omnipresent force. You can just like, you're always there as the trainer. You can help so many people, and this like everyone has access to you. Like I don't know, like I'm able to reply to people right away, like whenever they hit me up, you know. And like the people that are actually my clients that are important to me, I'm gonna hit them back immediately. And like there's like so many random people on the internet that want like advice, but like I gotta, you know, why would I give them advice when I have people that are way more invested, way more that want the person coaching, you know, like the real true, you know, value. Those are the people I'm going to focus on, not the random people on the internet. Yes, I try to help people in need, but like there's people that like actually really need the help and are serious and are committed and invested. Those are the people that are going to get the help. That's just how it goes, right? But again, like, so like, you know, in-person training is cool because it's like, you can be a little bit more physical, a little bit more hands-on and showcase the technique well. But like now through online, you can still deliver that same knowledge through videos, through tutorials. Like you can see like different angles of an exercise, right? And if it's all implemented, kind of right next to like your actual routine, which is how we do it, it's kind of useful. It's pretty freaking insane how far technology has come when it comes to like fitness and training. Because I remember it used to be like every time you'd like write stuff up in like Google Sheets or like Excel, you'd like give people their workouts like that. But now it's like, dude, there's like whole apps you can have. I have a Flex Fitness app right now. No big deal. But we have the Flex Fitness app, and like it literally allows me to program the like custom workout head to toe for like the person that needs it, and we can like make adjustments. They could say, oh, this exercise that hurts my shoulder, and I'll be able to use my encyclopedia of exercise knowledge to like adjust that so they can still work the same muscle group but not affect their hurt injury, the affected shoulder. So it's like, you can have a whole routine ready to go like at all times, and like throughout the applying it through the phone and through the app, like you're becoming more independent. You're not going to have to rely on this in-person trainer and like wait on them kind of to like tell you what the next workout is. Like you're learning it as you go, as you implement it through the app that the online trainer gives you. And you always have like questions, you always have them for questions. You can see the videos of how to do the form. So it's like, I'd rather, teach a man to fish, versus give a man a fish, right? Like, and I think that's a saying, right? You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime, right? I'm much more about that. Like, let's address the fundamentals and the basics and the roots of the foundation that's gonna give you the most results. Like, and let's address that. And that's only for like training, even like, and that that nutrition, that's a whole nother side that you can reap the benefits from. Like in-person training, they're once you're gone. They don't really give you nutritional guidance. They don't really tell you, like, answer your questions about like how to, how should I eat? Is this okay? Is this good? Is this not? Like they're not available to answer those kind of questions. Online training, you get like all of that. You can answer those questions whenever it's like, curious, like, oh, what's better, white rice or brown rice? Or when should I have my pre-workout? Or when should I have, like, these questions, like they all get answered instantly. So it's way more convenient. As well as the fact is like you can have like like literally like, so what I do is I teach macros. I teach like I can put foods in a meal plan that are like what you guys like. Nutritional support that you get with online training, there's recipes, there's meal plans, there's like frequent macronutrient adjustments. There's just so much more of a level of detail that you would get from an online trainer than you would in-person trainer. In-person trainer isn't going to touch all these things, and a lot of them aren't even qualified to touch all these things. All right, I personally am qualified to do all these things. I do invest in like the best thing. Like I use my own money to invest in the technologies and the services, like everything that I use for my clients. Like I use my own fucking money for it, you guys. Like this is important to me that people get the best of the best of the best, treatment. And if anyone like has an issue, a concern, I'm a few thumb taps away. And like I welcome like issues and concerns. I want you guys to reach out when you feel struggle. I want you to reach out when you feel overwhelmed. Like that's part of my job, is to help try to dissect those things and try to be able to explain like, okay, this is why we feel this way, or this is why the scale didn't go down this week, but this is why you don't have to worry about that, or like this is why your stomach feels bloated, or this is why you feel like you don't have energy. I can address those concerns right away, versus in the gym when I was an in-person trainer, I wasn't able to help out, when I was stuck in the gym and my clients were gone, throughout their day. Because like fitness, it's not just 1 hour of the day in the gym and that's what dictates if you're gonna reach your goals or not. Fitness is like it's all day. It's 24 hours. Like, yeah, going to the gym for an hour or 45 minutes is one thing, but being able to not binge eat for the rest of the day, or being able to not like being able to make sure you're okay all the hours outside of the gym, getting enough sleep, making sure your mental health is okay, like making sure you're not like self-sabotaging and like getting down on yourself. Those are important parts of fitness that are never addressed in-person. Out of all of like I've worked at like freaking like 6 different gyms like throughout my life, and it's just like they never talked about that stuff. And like being someone who's actually lost 100 pounds, who's actually like had a life-changing transformation, I'm like, why are we not talking about this, you guys? This stuff is important because this is like, like a real huge issue we got to address if people actually want to lose weight, or if they actually want to stick to these goals long term. We can't just go give them like 5 or 6 workouts in the gym and think they're going to be good. They got to be supported. You got to support everybody throughout the whole thing. Sometimes you just need a friendly kick in the ass to go to the gym, because sometimes like you can have the perfect plan, you can have the perfect diet, everything can be perfect, but like if you don't have the accountability or the extra friendly, little kick in the ass to get you to actually execute it, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. But yeah, guys, like, the value these days in online versus in person is just crazy, all right? Like, I know how the value of a dollar works for you guys. Like, I've worked hard. I've worked in a lot of, like, dirty jobs, as Mike Rowe would say. I've done a lot of things, roofing, contracting work, just like hard work. I've done hard manual labor, and I know that like what we spend is important on you guys, and like investing in your health should be very important and should be taken seriously. So I take it serious because it's like, I think health, I've been on a health and fitness journey. I know that stuff is like, it's important to people, right? And it's important to me. So like, I don't think you could just, when people pay you all this money to be in-person training, like, you got to just be able to give people results. You got to be able to actually help people out. That's my opinion, right? And like, trust me, I love being in person and like group training, and like that's all. I still teach classes in person kickboxing Mondays and Wednesdays just because I love it, just not even really for the money at all. It's just 'cause I love it. I still love, being there and active in the environment. But just like the online aspect is just like kind of revolutionary. It's really just like, if you guys know, if but like you can feel a whole tangible difference of someone like, so someone you don't even know even sometimes will support you online, support you in the internet, and it'll just like leave you with a great feeling throughout your day, like a real good feeling. Like if you like post online asking for support and you get that support, that will actually help you and it will actually make you feel better. I've had that, you guys. I've reached out and leaned on a social community online for support, and I've gotten like great advice and great, words of encouragement from people online, and it's actually gave me a boost. It's actually like gotten me to the gym some days. It's actually like given me advice that I've implemented in my life and made my whole life better, you guys. So online all the way, it's the future, all right? It's now, it's what's happening. In-person training is still good too. There's a lot of great in-person trainers out there. There's a lot of amazing ones out there. There's a lot of ones out there that need to step it up and need to care more about their people and need to like, look at people like they're more than fucking dollar signs, and like they're human beings, and like understand these are mothers, understand that these are sons and dads, and these are human beings that are trying to improve themselves, you guys. And like when I just see that in people, that just fires me up and just like makes a tear to my eye come, because like I feel so passionate about people that just want to do better for themselves, because I've just been in those moments where you just feel like you're at rock bottom. You feel like it's just an impossible task. You feel like you've buried yourself so deep it's impossible to get out now. And like I've been there, you guys. I've done that, and I can just tell you it doesn't have to be like that. There is a way out, you guys, and it gets better. All right, it gets better through hard work, through discipline, through having support, through believing in yourself, through never giving up. Those are the things that are going to make it through. All right, don't worry about what the scale says. Don't worry about what anyone says to you. All right, worry about the man or the woman in the mirror. Take care of that person. Take care of the younger version of you that needed you to step up to who you are now, right? I think all of us have like this inner child that we need to like make proud of who we are now, and like do it for that person, all right? Do it for yourself. That is when you will truly unlock some momentum and some discipline, and you'll just be ready to get after it because you deserve it. All right, you guys? So I'm going to end it on that note before I hit 20 minutes. It was a really good talk with you guys today. This was a good one. This was fire. So if you guys liked watching it, drop some fire in the comments. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Make it the best freaking day of your guys' entire life. I appreciate all of you. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.